Hello, my name is Chris and I'm a U-Haul hitch professional. Installing a hitch on your Hyundai Accent can lead to some amazing adventures, such as biking, camping, or road trips to your favorite destination. You can even tow a U-Haul trailer just about anywhere in North America. Now let's take a look at how I completed this install. You will need the following tools or supplies to complete this installation. We can begin this installation with lowering the underbody panel on the driver's side. There are 6 fasteners. 3 are trim clips. You can use a flathead screwdriver to remove them. The other 3 are plastic nuts. You can use a 14mm socket and an extension and do this by hand. You will not need a ratchet. We're now going to address 3 brackets that are behind the fascia. We only need to loosen the 2 on the outside to get the hitch in there. But the center one, we're going to fully remove. So let's begin with the flathead screwdriver and get the 3 trim clips. The brackets have a push clip right here. And for the center one, there will be a Phillips bit on the inside here that we will need to remove. Now you need to remove the screw on the opposite side of this bracket using a Phillips head bit with a low profile ratchet. The bracket and screw will also not be reinstalled. We can now remove the rubber frame plugs. There is one on either side. We're now ready to enlarge our 2 mounting locations that are at the rear of the frame. We're going to do this using a 1/2-inch drill bit. If you have any cutting oil or paste, you can apply a little bit to the drill bit. You can now apply rust prevention to the holes that you have drilled. I like to use a zinc galvanizing spray. Hitch Pros, you can order this in your EPC. We can now use the provided hardware to fish the rearward mounting holes. We're now ready to mark the fascia in order to make a trim. You're going to want a measuring device and perhaps a wax crayon is what I prefer, so that we can mark out where we're going to make our trim and then use masking tape for a straight edge. You can now use your cutting tool of choice to trim the fascia. You can now use a metal file to straighten up any cuts and remove the frayed plastic. We're now ready to raise the hitch into place in order to use it as a template to mark out our forward mounting locations. I'm going to use this U-Haul exclusive hitch jack. If you do not have one, I would recommend getting a second set of hands to hold the hitch while you do this. When pulling the hitch into the fascia, you may find the previously loosened bracket trying to go over the hitch. We must ensure it goes under the hitch so it can be reseated and the hitch will line up. You can now pass the fish wire through the mounting location on the hitch in order to line it up and mark out our other location to drill. Our directions are now calling out for us to loosely install 2 flange nuts to keep the hitch into place. Because I'm using the U-Haul hitch jack, it's going to do that for me, so I do not need to install these now. If you're doing it yourself at home, go ahead and follow that step. You can now mark out your second mounting location and repeat for the other side. Our directions now call out drilling the hole with the hitch into position. I would not recommend this. If there's a mistake, you may damage the hitch. So let's go ahead and lower the hitch so we can drill out the second mounting location. I'm now going to drill a pilot hole in order to gain access with the 1/2-inch drill bit. I'm using a 1/8 drill bit. You could use up to a 3/16 as well. We'll still make this easier. Apply rust prevention, and now repeat on the opposite side. You're now ready to fish wire your 2 remaining mounting locations. You're now ready to raise the hitch back into position so we can finally mount it. You can now remove the fish wires and install the flange nuts. Make sure the flange faces the hitch plate. We can now tighten and torque the hardware to the manufacturer specifications. I will link them in the description below. We're going to use an 11/16 socket, an extension, and of course our torque wrench. For my own peace of mind, I like to mark the hardware after I have torqued it. We can now return the trim clips for our 2 fascia brackets. Return the 2 frame plugs. You can now return the underbody panel and the 6 fasteners. Now that our hitch is installed, we pulled the vehicle onto level ground to show you some important measurements. This is a 1.25" receiver. From the pinhole to the end of the bumper is 2.5 inches. From the ground to the top of the inside of the receiver is 11 inches. These measurements will help you determine the necessary length, rise, or drop of your hitch accessories like a ball mount, bike rack, or cargo carrier. If you have any questions about the products seen in this video, or if you'd like to schedule an installation with your local U-Haul hitch professional, please visit us online at uhaulhitches.com. You can also download the U-Haul app using the link in the description for even more ways to manage your hitch and towing needs.